On this episode of the Dudes and Dads podcast, we're talking all about hacks.
You're listening to the Dudes and Dads podcast, a show dedicated to helping men be better dudes and dads by building community through meaningful conversation and storytelling. And now, here are your hosts, Joel DeMott and Andy Lehman.
Hacky hack.
I'm
Hacky
thinking
sack.
like hack, like old hacks,
Hack
or
attack.
hack like
We should call it, that's by the way, that's the name of this episode.
hack attack.
Hack attack.
Love it. Hey, I love it.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, we're streaming to your Facebook page today too.
Oh, boy. We'll see.
That's something
see
we've
how
never
many
done.
people unfriend me after this beast.
Probably a lot,
Probably a lot.
but we are going live. This is the Dudes and Dads podcast that you're listening to.
Oh, no. Well, hey. Hi, everybody out on wherever you are in the social media universe. Yeah, hey. So, Andy, as I was just mentioning before, on my way over to the studio. Well, not like on my way, but we had some piping hot DiGiorno pizza
I was thinking
coming out of that
on the
coming out
way
of that
over.
oven. No. I was like, okay, this pizza needs to be done. So I can put some in my belly before I head over to the studio. And so it came out piping hot.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm like, you know what? I think I can handle this. I'm gonna get some bites in. And literally I can feel right now as I'm talking to can feel the skin hanging from the top of the roof of my mouth because I destroyed it. Friends, what is it? What is it about super hot pizza where we go all these years? I mean, 4 decades of life plus in, and I have not learned my lesson that pizza will come and get you. It will get the top of your mouth.
Right.
It will burn it.
And like you'd think that we would learn that because I'm 44 years old and I've done it so many times, but yet
so many. But
I
you're
end
like,
up-
I need it. I need the
right,
pizza now.
like hot pizza, and I need it now.
Need it now.
And when I eat it, and then my whole roof of my mouth is messed up. It's bad.
Yeah, I can't I got a really weird sensation going on in the roof of my mouth. But you know where I don't have a weird sensation?
Where I don't know where this is going.
Sitting here talking with you here on the Dudes and Dads podcast.
It's been a long time.
It's been a spell. We took a week off. We had some vacation travels and all that good stuff.
Believe it or not, we do get PTO on the podcast.
We did. It's written into our contract. we have to sit down with a board of directors every year, and Andy and I we have to battle it out. We have to say no.
We need to keep the PTO.
We're going to keep the PTO,
And believe it or not, all these years we still have PTO.
That's right. The board, while the Dudes and Dads podcast executive board, while a bunch of sticklers, I will say they have come around to our way of thinking. So we're super grateful.
Well, like Joel said, tonight we are going to be talking about dad hacks as time-saving parenting tips. But first, Everence is sponsoring this episode. Dudes and
Yes.
Dads is sponsored and supported by Everence Financial, helping individuals and organizations combine faith and finances through asset management, charitable giving, and other financial services. More at everence.com/Michiana. Securities offered through Concourse Financial Group Inc. Securities Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC.
Oh boy, thanks, Everence. We love you.
So dad hacks.
Dad hacks. Here, this you got a lovely list, by the way. Andy really took charge on this one. I so appreciate because I told him I was like, Andy, I love hacks, but
I'm just not sure I have any
I don't know
hacks.
if I have any hacks. I'm not sure I'm living in a hack-filled life, a life that is hack-aware.
Hackalicious.
Hackalicious. Made me giggle more than it should have. But like as you tossed out this list, I was like, yeah, this is. I guess I have at some point dabbled and tried some of these, done some of them. It's helpful. So the first one, Andy.
And we can skip around on this list.
Oh, well,
but
we're going to skip all over. Some of these might really hit home in a deeper level. There might be some real gems of conversation here. We're always talking about hacks on the meal prep side. I don't know about you, Andy. It feels in some seasons stronger than others that feeding our children feeding our families in a reasonably timely and reasonably healthy manner is a challenge.
It is. Yes.
And I know that Jackie and I can literally play the conversation out in my mind. Conversation goes like this. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hey, where are you? Well, I haven't left work yet, but leaving soon. Do you have any ideas for dinner? No, actually, this is the first time thinking about dinner. Do you have any ideas? No, I have zero ideas. And by the way, and this could be either one of us saying this, the meat that we would need to have thawed at home or whatever it is, the thing we would need to have it somewhat ready in order for us to do this, to make this meal in a timely manner, is not ready. Oh no, what are we gonna do? And then we have to scramble or get something. Whatever. It feels like that whole conversation plays out on the regular. With you get kids in different activities, they're going places, whatever. We are lucky. What would you say is your average dinner time at the Lehman household right now?
I mean, we try to prepare things ahead of time. So
good for you.
I hate to be the
good. No, I'm super glad.
I would say, I mean, our average time is usually 6 o'clock or so, just because we do a lot of this meal prep ahead of time. I'm going to tell you guys one of the best hacks that I found with it. Well, I can't really even claim this one. It's going to be Julie.
Yeah.
But you can get something that's going to fit in your crock pot. And I get up in the morning and one of us will put all the stuff in the crock pot, hit it on low for, the time being. And then all of a sudden we get home and it's like, this smells good, and it's done and we're ready to go.
Aaron, so my eldest son, Aaron, is here with us this evening. Hi, Aaron. How are you? He's waving. Hello. Hi. I just had a great idea. I think Aaron, because he's the last one out of the house, because the junior high doesn't start school until 9:15 in the morning. Aaron could start our crock pot meals for us in the morning. He could be the guy. I mentioned this because Aaron actually also made a dinner for our family this evening.
Oh, nice.
Done a nice chicken curry.
Good job, Aaron.
Yeah. He's in culinary arts class right now. And I got to say, this might be the most applicable public education that he's received in a very long time. It's from the classroom to our table. I'm super excited about it. But yes, the meal prep ahead of time. What I will say, we did have some luck with this, and we want to get back to it. Eating decent breakfast is a challenge, specifically for Jackie and I, because like everybody else, everybody's else getting around or whatever, and it's like, oh, did I even eat anything this morning? What we have found, what we like to do, is pre-made breakfast burritos and freeze them, and then just take them frozen with you. I pop them in the it's like a 3-minute microwave and donezo.
I also want to remind all of our listeners that if you are listening with us today and you have comments, go ahead and put them, we can get them. So if you've got hacks that are great for this, we'd love to see those. So
yeah.
Can I move on to mine?
I'd love to.
Right,
I'd love to hear it.
So the next one is going to be a shared calendar, and I like doing the shared calendars because we have a shared calendar, except for I have to make a confession the other day. But we have a shared calendar, and it's great because I can see it on my phone and Julie can see it on her phone.
Yes.
And the nice thing about it is because then when we do that, I am able to see, if I put something on the calendar, she puts something. Now I have my own calendar still because I can because some things that she just doesn't want to see.
I don't want to see my wife's calendar because that would stress me out. But yes,
right,
gotcha.
But there are things that shared is nice because then you can see each other's things. Now, my confession though is this: the other week, she said something like, "Hey, we have this thing going on." I'm like, "No, we don't," because I'm looking at the calendar, it's not on there.
Doesn't exist. If it's not on the calendar, it's not real.
Right. And she's like, "No, look here on my phone, it exists." And I said, "No, look at my phone, it doesn't exist." And come to find out, my calendar had got disconnected. I needed to put the password back in, and I didn't realize that. And I was missing all of these things.
We do live and die by the calendars. The shared calendar is great. We have some. We have some of that. We have some shared practice in our calendars. Jackie wants here's what Jackie wants. She wants our shared calendar up on some sort of on the wall, like electronically.
Mm-hmm.
She wants like an electronic display on our wall at all times.
We could probably do that.
I said we need to talk to Andy. I'm sure you can come up with a great solution. I think she wants literally like a touchpad screen with our calendar that you could, bloop, bloop. Yeah, and whatever. But
Next
anyway.
thing she's gonna like a clear pane of glass that just shows up in front of her, and it's
It
clear.
sounded the way what she said was like she thinks we live in 2050 or something. But I think there's probably a solution.
Yeah. So, toy rotation. This is a good one for not necessarily when you're. I mean, even older can do this, but especially when they're younger. You know, you have all these toys. Kids are getting toys from everywhere, whether it be McDonald's or whatever birthdays. Like everyone seems to give everyone everything, and so you have all of these toys. And then especially if you have multiple kids, you end up having all of these toys that you can. The nice thing you can do is rotate those out. I would say also clean them out. So get rid of them if there's a time that you don't like those toys, or it's like, okay, Aaron, you've had these toys forever. I'm picking on Aaron because he's sitting here.
Yep.
You've had these toys, and I'm getting rid of your kids' toys. By the way,
yes.
But you can take those toys and you can put them off to either sell them, get rid of them. Sometimes it helps that I've seen to be able to say, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sell these toys because you can take the money from this and do what you want. And the nice thing about that is because then they want to get rid of their toys.
Yeah.
And so that's what I found. It's nice because you can do that and then get rid of the toys. But the other thing that you could do is you can take and just put some of them away, because if you have all of them out, kids are going to get bored with them. But so what's nice is if you can put those away for maybe half a year or a quarter and then switch them out, because then it seems like they're very new toys and they stay interested in them.
Gotcha. So you've got basically you have a portfolio or a repertoire of toys that you've segmented and you're moving in and out. And so sometimes, and I know we've done this where we've had toys that are out of circulation that come back in. And it's almost like they're brand new.
Right, they are.
It's like oh, that's
and that's
right.
the great part. Yeah,
yeah, we had that. Yeah, that's good. For our I guess what we'd say our younger listeners, because I remember this, the diaper changing station.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. So we had one in our first house that was like almost right by the front door, quite honestly. It was like in a central location, and it was just like it was like stocked with all the stuff, if I remember correctly. Because it just feels like in those early years, all the accoutrements of the changing, the kid changing, and all the stuff or whatever. Even as I'm saying it out loud, I'm just like I'm having a lot of flashbacks to changing. But to have some sort of changing station centrally located, that was one of those ideas where I was like, yeah, that's good.
Perfect idea. Yeah.
Maybe somebody's and on top of that, it's also good because like if you're like jumping out the door real quick and you're like, oh, do we have everything that we need in the diaper bag? Sometimes you don't, and sometimes you need to be able to like jump over to a place, grab the things, and throw it in on your way out. So to have to have that centrally located, have a place, and here's the deal, just put it out in front of God and everybody. Let people know you've got kids. Just have it out, have it out there. It's part of life. That's what it comes down to.
So since you mentioned babies, and I mean, it's been a while since we've been in that stage, right? I mean, it's been a hot minute or so.
Someone asked me to hold their baby the other day.
Did you know how to hold it even?
I did, but it was like, it's weird. Now it was really, really lovely. And I was so glad to hold this little baby girl, and she didn't freak out.
That's always positive.
And then a friend of mine had her kid with her, and she had to lock a door, and so like she just turns, hands me the child. I'm like, oh, we're doing this now. Okay, all right. It all came back to me, but nevertheless, it was like wow, it has been 7 years since I've had to do this.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I mean, again, these are a lot of these things are stuff that we're through. Because if we're talking, but some of them are stuff that we're still in, today.
Yes.
But another thing that you can do and is helpful is like the baby wearing slings. And this is again like because you can't, you can save time with doing those because you can put the baby on while you're washing the dishes or whatever. Maybe not wash the dishes because it might fall out into the. Oh, not really. But you don't want to do that.
Splash the child.
Yeah.
Dawn dish soap straight in the eyes.
Hey, that's another way to save time. Do the shower with the baby.
That's right.
As you're doing
Wash
the
your
dishes.
dishes. Wash your baby.
That's all perfect.
It's totally
but
fine.
that will help to be able to keep because for one it frees your hands up for doing things too because you can move around with your baby but you can also have other things that you're doing but your baby is with you so that can be helpful.
Andy, I want to talk about because this is as Aaron will know, a little bit of a pet peeve of mine.
All right.
Car organization.
Oh yeah.
Because people are leaving things in the cracks of seats, on the floors, rolling around.
Hey, that's the best place to find all those stale fries.
That's oh my gosh. Ugh, yes. Yep.
They don't ever go bad, right? I mean, they have
that's
never go bad.
Wow.
Just put them back up on the dashboard.
I mean,
They'll warm up.
I mean, they maintain the same visual appearance. I can't really vouch for anything else, but yeah, there's the thing that so here's one of the things that I've started doing. I have like in the side like door or whatever. I have rolled up like plastic shopping bags all the time. Because what I do before they will get out is I will hand them a bag and I will say, all your junk
in here right now.
In here now. Goes out with you. Leave it better than you found it. And we have some success with that. Not always. But that, and we've got, I think ours is we have water bottles in our vehicle all the time. They take them to school.
Oh, like not like the disposable ones, but actually
So yes, these I would say that was a
little ASMR for the podcast.
That's a little bottle of water. No, yes, those, but also the like reusable ones.
Sure, yeah,
all the time because they're sporting events and taking back and forth. And they don't make it back in the house, and I just feel like but I think it's like they fall on the floor and roll behind stuff, whatever, and they're out of sight. So if you have some sort of like organizational thing that you could like put those in or at least keep them visible, it would be helpful.
So the thing I'm going to bring up too is emergency kits, and I'm not thinking just like straight on emergencies when when we're talking about like first aid type things, but I'm talking about things like spare change of clothes and first aid, but also snacks, because you never know what's going to happen with kids. You may go take a day at the park. You
never know what's going to happen with yourself, Andy.
Right. So I should put.
I mean, you might. I don't know. One day you're at work and you're you gotta make an evasive maneuver, and before you know it. The seams in the pants, they don't hold like they used to.
No.
What do you do? What do you do? If you've got an extra pair of khakis,
you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Funny story. I did have my one time when I was working in the factory.
Yeah.
I did have my pants split right down the back.
Yeah.
And I had to just go with my underwear hanging out all day. It was disgusting. And my coworkers probably hated it, but I had to do it. What was I going to do? Go home?
Life lesson. Have right change ready,
but you never know. I mean, you could be at the park and come up on a friend that you've never seen for a while, and then next thing you know, the kid is wanting a snack, and you can just pull out of your emergency preparedness bag a snack and a change of clothes for when they get the snack all over their clothes. It's good to go.
And be the awe of your community.
You can even share.
You can. That's true. Yeah, we. I think I've got a general. And I don't know if I put it in my car or whatever. I do have like a small toiletry kit in a case that I have actually in my office or whatever. And because you never know, like You might need, maybe you need, here's what I have. I've got Tums. I've got Q-tips. I've got, I got some deodorant in there.
That's always positive.
You just never know. Let me see. What else do I have? Toothbrush, toothpaste in there. And I want to say, what else? I'm trying to think if I have some other, trying to think if I have some other tool or some other thing, but those sort of, those sort of things. And I have this little like snap case that I think is actually supposed to be used for like a pencil.
Oh,
like
yeah.
A pencil case or whatever. Works really, really well. Got it at the Dollar General, 98 cents.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I'm going to say this next one is one that I sometimes struggle with: delegating tasks.
Uh-oh.
So, your children that are old enough, so this doesn't apply to, Sally newborn, but it does I don't know where Sally came from.
I love it.
Neither of us have kids named Sally.
Easy enough. Sally newborn. Instead of John Doe or Jane Doe,
It's Sally newborn.
It's Sally newborn. Great.
So,
okay.
Anyways, you can delegate some tasks to them. They can help with the age-appropriate tasks and chores and responsibilities, but it gets them off of you. And this is something that I struggle with this one, because for me, a lot of times I'm like, well, no, my thing is to do the chores. My thing is to do the dishes. And so that's just my job.
Yeah.
But then I like being able to say, no, Reagan, I need you to do the chores, and I need Eli to put away or do the dishes, wash them. I need Eli to put them away, and I need Micah to
start a fire.
Start a fire. Yeah. No, usually it's something like that. But
I don't know if you were like, I made your family like suddenly in the 19th century. Go start
a fire so we can have some food.
That's right.
But yeah, so so that's a quick, easy one to take. But again, I mean, I know I struggle with that a little bit. Joel, do you struggle passing those things off?
Oh, geez, yes. Here, well, as you were saying this is kind of a hack. This is something Jackie does. She will put like, if there's like a bunch of little like tasks, things, whatever that need to get done. This is usually like with like house cleanup.
Mhm.
Like, we run into this situation where it's like, hey, we're gonna be gone. Like, oh shoot, kids are home on Friday, and we know we're gonna be gone a good portion of Saturday. And it's like, hey, we got to get some things knocked out here. Jackie will get a bowl. She'll write down a bunch of
Shake it up.
tasks. Yeah, like a bunch of
nice.
things on sheets of paper. It actually, it's really effective actually, and the kids actually interact with it probably the best. They just have it's all these random strips of paper with like one task to do. They mix it all up and they just pull them out of
Until they're done.
That's
a good idea, because then you're not.
It randomizes everything.
Right. And I mean, as long as there are things that the kids can all do together, I mean,
Right.
like each one can do it, because if,
Right.
there'd be maybe things that Aaron can do that Molly can't do.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, Molly's getting older, but there may be things, but then that's nice too, because then you're not like, well, I always do the dishes, or I always fold my laundry, or whatever. So
it mixes it up. So it's fun. That's a fun little. It just feels like they've been more responsive to that sort of thing, and again, I think my wife is more creative about those sort of things because she is task driven, but she is also she's very driven by like rewards. So the reward is that we're getting to the bottom of this bowl and we don't have any more slips of paper to worry about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What was that? There was another one that I was going to. Oh my gosh. We had one in here about napping, which I feel like I could. I don't know if I'm gonna. Maybe I'll get to that. These, Andy, on here on our list, we had this kind of like joining parenting groups or joining like online communities or whatever. Which I think I'm a part of a couple of those maybe. Andy's always obviously the big advocate for a lot of different online community groups, things that he's a part of and has found that I know helpful. I would say this, so find yourself a good online parenting group. There are some that are cesspools of judgment and like, because not everybody parents the same way, not everybody has the same whatever, but there are some I think that legitimately are just trying to share resources and be helpful and cool, which is great, which is what we're trying to do. So I'd seek out some of those. I'm trying to think what there's some the online groups that I'm thinking of right now they're not so much parenting focused. Are the groups I'm almost embarrassed to say that we're part of them. They're groups, they're nosy neighbor groups.
Oh yeah,
You know what
I got
what we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Those aren't parenting groups.
They're not parenting groups, but it's like, hey, does anybody know why
Why Johnny's running around the street naked?
Yeah. Has anybody seen this man? Those sort of things. That's not really what I'm talking about so much. But there's some good stuff out there. People sharing with each other.
So Tim Blom has commented on it, and he says that he's here to spice up the chat. So
Tim Blom.
Thanks, Tim, for spicing the chat up. But
yeah,
Tim, if you have any things, let us know.
Yeah,
parenting hacks.
Tim's an experienced parent. I'm gonna out Tim. Tim had a kid that was pulled out of Sunday school today, and I don't know how that turned. I'd love to know how that turned out. I want to know because we've all had that child multiple times in our life.
All right.
I'm outing you, Tim. I'm outing. We know you, see you, we love you. We stand with you.
So the next thing that I'm all a fan of is digital record keeping, and I'm talking about things like note apps, particularly. You know, whether it be Evernote or just the
nice.
Apple Notes on your phone, but important information like your medical history. The nice thing about if you have an app that like the notes on your Apple iPhone or on Evernote is if you have that a shared account with your wife, because I'm thinking things in there, keeping things like medical history, milestones, school activity, because inevitably I get somewhere where I end up having to take one of our kids to the doctor or
whatever. You got
to
fill out a form
right,
or whatever.
Or fill out a form, and I have no idea what their social security number is, or not even that, but I don't know. I mean, most of the time I know what my kids are. I mean, I do know what my kids are allergic to, so don't get me wrong there.
Nice job.
But then, but that way you have it with you, and you don't look like that dad who's just like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure what.
Yeah. I thought frequently it's like I think I have pictures saved of my kids, like birth certificate and or social security card number, but like there's a better way to. There's Jackie and I we have some Google Docs that are shared like with all of our like online account information.
That's another good one too. I didn't really think about that, but Google Docs would be good because then you can kind of keep, especially if it's medical history or whatever, you can keep it in a spreadsheet. You can keep it in the Google Docs.
Yeah, it's my Southwest Airlines account. Whenever Jackie gets tickets, I need the miles. I'm working toward a goal.
I hear you.
And I need let's get the points. Let's log into the account.
I totally hear you.
Let's make the most of the situation. Yeah. Those are shared docs are good. What I was gonna say is we have like our monthly we have like a monthly finance doc, like bill pay doc.
Okay.
That like helps us keep track of like, hey, did we pay that? So that's nice.
Okay, so Tim actually just commented. He says that they share notes on like things like eternal shopping lists, so they can quickly pick up something that she needs from the grocery store, as well as a shared packing list for family trips so that they know who packed what. That's an excellent idea. Excellent idea.
That's an excellent idea.
Because especially if you're packing, you don't want to get to, let's say, Colorado, and
for instance,
and then go, hey, Joel, did you pack Molly's whatever? And you're like, no, I thought you did. So
no, it's 2,000 miles away now.
Yeah. So then you got to go buy it.
Do you guys have here's one list. Do you guys have a camping packing list, like a one that you've established?
No, because this kind of goes with my next thing, and the next thing is the designated toy zones. So, but
I love to see how you're going to tie this together. I'm very excited
because with designated toy zones, you can have toy bins too, and so that way it makes it easy to clean up.
I see.
But the nice thing, I'll go back to the camping thing. Don't worry. But the nice thing about having a toy zone is because then you can say, no, those toys need to stay here
In the
instead
zone.
of all over the house, because inevitably I'm going to end up. In fact, I just saw this today. As I was leaving my house, I look and I see right by our back door we have a rack, and it has little like coat hooks on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw 2 Barbies hanging from that in the kitchen. Right, and those don't play. We don't have designated Barbie kitchen or kitchen Barbies. So
Those Barbies were out of their zone, man.
they were
out of their zone.
They were terrible. But why I'm tying this back to the camping is because we do have a bin or two of things that are essential. Like a lot of stuff for us, since we have a camper, stays in the camper as far as camping stuff goes. In fact, we do have designated toys that stay in the camper for Hattie.
Camper
toys. And so that way we know that they're in there. And it goes back to the rotating toys because she doesn't get to see those toys every day.
Yeah.
And so then when we go
she's
camping,
like thrilled
she's
that
excited.
those are there.
Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
And so that way, for us, like our essential camping stuff that doesn't stay in the camper stays in a bucket, a bin, a plastic bin that we can easily go find those things when we want to find them.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's how I tied that back.
I like it. Yes. So you've got, and that's the I'm a big fan of, and I'm actually I'm very particular about my bins and my bin management.
Oh, you're one of those.
I am. I'm a bin elitist. Well, because here's the deal. I've just decided with the bins, like I get good ones because it's like I'm gonna beat them up, and I'm gonna put. And by the way, I'm gonna stack them. They're gonna get stacked tall.
Yeah.
And so let's let them hold. Andy, you'll know the bins I'm talking about because you can get them at Menards. It's black bin, yellow top.
Oh yeah.
It's the quintessential bin. They lock in nice with each other.
And they sit on top of each other nice. Perfect.
Can't beat it. And I'm not ashamed to say that I just have very particular about my bins, and those are the ones. I think they run. I think those run around $8. Well, they were like $8. You can get them at Menards. I think right around $8 per bin. They're probably more now. Probably a lot more. I just remember getting them on sale.
I've not looked for that. I don't have any of those. I have more of the bigger Rubbermaid type ones that aren't quite as rugged as the ones you're talking about.
Those ones I like to use for our long-term storage, or ones that were, well, it's the ones that were for like the kids' clothes management and stuff like that, where we're putting away each year. We're rotating stuff through in and out all the time. But the reason for the bin is exactly that. Where if I have a bin that's dedicated to something, and for trips or things like that, it's just like, you just know when you grab it and pull it and throw it in, everything's there.
Now, do you label the top of your bin, so like with a gray tape on the top, and put everything in?
I do.
The other thing here, let me tell you this. Okay, so this is a handy tip too. So what I would do, and I've not done this for a little while, but I've done this before, is I print out a QR code.
Yes, you do.
That I stick on top of the bin.
Yes.
And then I have a note that like a the public note from my like, let's say whatever note taking app. Mm-hmm. And so I can scan that, and it brings up my notes, and you can put right in there, and it's easy to update, because then let's say you take out the lantern and you replace it with Johnny's shoes. No, baby Sally. What was her name? Sally Newborn. You put Sally Newborn's diapers in there. You can see that easily, but you don't have to update the tape on it, right? So that's a
Andy. What you've just shared here is worth the price of admission for this entire show. You've just blown my mind. I love everything about that idea. So it's basically like, hey, this is bin number 1, QR code.
Right.
You can permanently
100%.
assign. You could, because I'm a big fan of laminating things. If you've got access to a laminator, I may or may not have been using church office materials for years, but while I was still in there, because when you find yourself a good church laminator, boy, oh boy, laminate that QR code, affix it. Maybe a hot glue gun situation.
Tim is on it tonight. He says no one puts baby Sally Newborn in a bin.
No, that's not what we're advocating for, Tim.
No, just the diapers, Tim. Just the diapers.
Thank you for the clarification.
See how much fun you can have if you join us live.
Yeah, it's a good time. But I love the QR code, linking the QR code to a doc. Doc pulls up.
Right.
You
So you have a doc
in there.
You have a doc for each bin, and so that way it's easy to just scan. And then if it's if it's public, your wife can scan it. Anybody can scan it and see it, and that way it stays with the bin. And yeah, that's a great
great
tip.
That's a dudes and
Now,
dads highlight.
What I
friends.
would also do is I would also maybe put a number or something on there or name the bin, so that way because otherwise you'd have like 50 yellow and black tubs that just have QR codes. Then you don't, without scanning each and every one, you don't kind of know. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you name it something, then you know exactly kind of, you get an idea. You may remember that, in bin whatever, green bin or red bin, or I can't think of any naming schemes right now, but
bin alpha.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. That way you kind of have an idea what's in there. Again, you may not know all of the details unless you scan it, but that way you can kind of get an idea. Okay, I know that this is normally the camping bin.
Yep.
So that's the stuff.
That's good. Yeah. I just I'm a big fan of a quality bin.
Not to mention the black and yellow are also the Dudes and Dads branded bins.
That's actually true.
That's a Tim Blom. Another Tim Blom.
That's
comment.
honestly, Tim, I'm glad you said that. That's honestly probably like some sort of weird subconscious thing that I haven't, like I was like drawn to it right away. I liked them. I liked them because they were built. I really think it is. They stack the best.
They do.
And they don't, because Jackie and I a few years ago had what I like to refer to as the Great Bin Avalanche of whatever year it was. It was when we were still doing a lot of the children's resale stuff, and we're trying to make use. We were making use of the bins, but not of any sort of shelving unit, and so we're stacking them high downstairs in the storage area, and a few of them gave way, and it was not pretty. It was not. There were damaged bins, so I've tried to up our game a little bit.
Never put Sally in the bin because then she will be damaged too.
Yeah, that's true.
For life.
That's for sure why Sally doesn't go in the bin.
All right, so what do you think about automated bill paying?
Oh,
so the reason I would say that is because again, that way you make sure that you're not going to miss things. You're not going to miss the payments. That is a good thing, and it saves you time too, because then you don't have to go through every week or every other week or however often you get paid and make those payments. Now, again, this may or may not work for you. Some people, myself included, for our family likes to we like to do the bills just because that way we both can talk about it and have an eye on what our finances are happening. But if you're into the automated bill pay or want to give it a try, I'd say that's a good thing to try and set up, because you end up having you get free time back because you don't need to actually make those bill payments then.
Yeah, there's always just a few that I'm always just concerned about, like, will we remember to do
right, or that also can get you in trouble because you can forget that you're paying for things that you have, again, I wouldn't necessarily, Netflix is a bill, but you may forget about that you have that, and so when you really could be getting rid of it because you're not using it anymore. So that's the other downside of that, is you may end up with accumulating services and things that you don't remember about. So
that's as they say, that's how they get you, Andy.
They do.
That's how they get you.
So another thing that I think is really important is an emergency contact list, because this includes things like doctors and schools and babysitters for easy access in case of emergencies, not just for babysitters, because that's handy for babysitters because then they can know who to contact. And this, I would include things like grandparents and obviously parents, but doctors, because that way anyone who's watching your kid can have it. You could even laminate a QR code and put it on the back of the baby. I'm all about the QR codes today. But anyways.
Genius. Whose baby is this? Please scan it.
Oh, here's a grandparent's. So, I think that's a good idea, because it allows you to leave it, again, on the fridge or whatever, and anyone who's watching your kid can know who exactly to contact. And again, you could even put things like allergies and things on it, like especially for you have a kid who's allergic to nuts, tree nuts, and so like those are things that are important to have So I would definitely have an contact list that's visible in your house, but as well as something that can easily be shared. Again, I'm all about the notes that can be shared. So if you can, I know that the Apple Notes app is really easy to create a note, and then you can invite people to it. So let's say you have a babysitter for the night, you can say, I'm going to text you this or whatever, and text them the link to that. So it's really easy to share that out for the people if they need to get a hold of somebody.
Yep. I think Jackie and I've used those that's the shopping list is what we use that for frequently. I think that's probably the big one. But yeah, that's good stuff. Andy, what else?
So here's a couple things that I'm skipping to the bottom of our list right now, but I like the two that are the very last, like digital story time. So, and this is something that, I mean, my kids aren't necessarily, I mean, that's not true. Hattie likes having story time with me still because she's still young, but I was actually away on business this last week, and I didn't do this for her. Kind of wish I would have now, but digital story time. So you use something like ebooks or any other apps to read that you can even read. Go open your recorder app on your phone. So you have the whatever phone you have has a voice recorder memo on it, and you can read that out and then send it to your spouse, and that way when you're gone you can go ahead and play that for your kid, and it's not quite like you're there. I mean, obviously you're not there physically, but it allows them to still hear your voice and still read the thing. The other thing you could do is if you're going to be away but you have time at bedtime, you could go to something like FaceTime or whatever it is, some sort of a video chat app, and you could go ahead and read it. If you bring the book with you, or you have a copy of the book and they have a copy of the book, you can read the book to them as they're there.
Love it.
And then the last thing that I'm going to say as a parenting hack is using a gratitude journal. So this is things for, I think, all of us, because I mean, we've done it with our kids. Especially Hattie has a gratitude journal, but I think this is great as a parent too, because you can reflect on the positive aspects of parenting in life, even during challenging times. Because Joel, we all know that challenging times happen, and you may end up pulling your hair out over parenting sometimes, right? But with the gratitude journal, you can go ahead and look back on that and go, oh, that's right. But this is a positive thing that happened, and you can remember what you're thankful for while you're parenting, and so that can help out a lot.
Yeah, and you can invite your kiddos into that too, and
do it on a digital note app and share it with everybody.
Perfect, with a QR code.
No, don't do that.
No, yeah, share. Just share your journal with everyone. Why not? I think it's called a blog.
Yeah, it really is. Twitter. X, right?
X,
I mean, X.
Whatever it is. The artist formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, well, and I think, nowadays, as we just think about, the whole hack thing and shortcuts and things like that, there are a lot of these there's a technological component to them. There's little to no cost with a lot of them, and
it frees up a lot of your time. I mean, that's the idea with the hacks that you're talking about tonight. Is a lot of them are time saving hacks, and so you can actually get more time back to parent. I mean, not
spending all your time doing the admin work as we call it. So that's hopefully it's helpful. And I would say, these are things, just a couple of them, if you do incorporate a couple of them, you might see some real changes. You and your spouse partnering together on that too, kind of coming together as a team and saying, hey, what are some things that we could do to gain back a little time, gain back a little margin. It's a good and healthy conversation to have.
Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you joined us live, which you should, now streaming.live, you can always watch us live when we
Always.
record. So
It's where the best fun. It's where the most fun is at.
right,
Really.
because Tim joined us tonight for the first time and he loved it.
Gosh, Tim, what a fella. What a fella. Hey, everybody. As always, you can head over to dudesanddadspodcast.com for all the show notes and all the goodies, past episodes, yada, yada, yada. Feel free to check it out.
You can call our voicemail 574-213-8702. Yes, we have a voicemail and we love it.
Leave a message at the beep. And dudesanddadspodcast@gmail.com. You can send the emails, send the communication, and all your rave reviews. Would love for you to do that. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all the stuff on all the platforms. We love that. Appreciate you. And guys, until next time, we wish you grace
And peace.